Welcome to Franchise Empires. Just thoughts on the whole hype cycle. You've been around longer than me, so like, do you agree with it? Have you seen it before, or you know, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think you see it a lot of times whenever there is a unicorn franchise pop up in like a new, typically it's a new segment, but like Crumble Cookies had already been around, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, and then people don't review the franchise agreement because there's this craze, there's buying frenzy for the franchises that are happening. So you don't necessarily maybe do the due diligence on the agreement as much as you could to try to get, you know, greater protections and stuff like that. It's a feeding frenzy. Like it's happening with Game Day and Men's Health right now, right?
Yeah,
happened the last 6 months of last year. I think that's probably like you just don't know, and it probably gets into like the higher risk category of investing in a franchise, right? Like could be amazing because people are making people have success with it, but there's also like, you know, if it doesn't work out, it's because there wasn't enough proof of concept to probably dig into that's been around long enough to demonstrate sustained success. And that's, you know, especially with brick and mortar, you know, you sign those leases and you're in a lease, and there's only so much you can control. Like I mean, I'll say this, like everybody talks about conversations they have with Crumble franchisees, right? Well, I had a conversation with one today who's looking at diversifying a little bit because he said, you know, he got in 2022, opened one and crushed it. Like lines around the block, making a ton of money. And then Crumble had like, from what he said, like the development agreement was pretty aggressive. It was like 3 and 12 months, maybe something like that. So he opened 2 more in like 6 months, and the performance has not replicated. And you know, and I'm like, dude, you're spoiled. Like, you want me to show you another franchise like Crumble? I can't. Like, you got it good, but the financial aspects of it aren't as good as they were because of a lot of the stuff he said, competitors, other Crumble locations, and I don't know. Like, you just don't know. Like in a frenzy like that, like how it's all going to play out.
100%. That's the biggest thing. I think it's like, I mean, it almost sucks for the franchisors. It's like you do a killer job, like you build an awesome couple small businesses, you know, whatever, create an awesome brand, do all the systems, right? And you grow your franchise and you're a smash success. And like, I almost think like the biggest risk to a successful franchise isn't even themselves or anything else. It's like just the copycats they're going to spawn. And yeah, I mean, I just think, I mean, it's happened before, right? With not just cookies, like boutique fitness, I think.
Well, I would challenge you on that a little bit. Yeah, boutique fitness, like like Orange Theory, sustained success. You mentioned Exponential. I know those guys really well. Club Pilates, what is a sustained success? And it was a feeding frenzy. And I mean, I sat through that conference. You know, I sat through 3 days and got pitched by 128 different franchise companies, all non-food. And I can't share the numbers that they shared with us, but put it this way, their AUVs keep going up. Like the average unit volume of their locations keep trending in a very positive direction, which is like, it's freaking Pilates. Like you don't draw that one up on, you know.
Why is that? That's one, like, because right, there's all these different, if we just look at Exponential's brands, right, like they have like Row House. So you go there, and I'm thinking like from the consumer's perspective, all you can do there is get on a rower and do some workout class with other people and an instructor. They have that same like copy and paste model for like, they have Stride, so it's just treadmills. And then, you know, they've got, I know, a bunch of other concepts, but Pilates, like, if you look at like cycling, like there's Cycle Bar and Burn Boot Camp, I think is primarily on bikes, stationary bikes. Anyway, like Pilates, you're right. Like, I mean, for one, I think they are if they're one of the OG, if not the OG boutique fitness. Like, I think it was founded in 2008. And like Orange Theory wasn't even founded then. Orange Theory was like 2010, 2011. And like they were one of the early ones too, to this whole boutique fitness trend. So like, I wonder if there's something there for like, from a longevity standpoint of just that first mover advantage. But I haven't seen, like, I don't know, I couldn't name a single other Pilates franchise, but like that's still a big enough category of like working out where like I notice, like, you know, whether I'm in New York City or even like in the suburbs where my parents live in New Jersey, like there's always moms or a bunch of people trying to do Pilates. And like, I don't see other concepts out there. So what do you think is going on with that?
I wish I was smart enough to answer that question. Here's what I would tell you. Like I think Orange Theory got out front and got the market share and the high intensity, I want to make you puke for 50 minutes kind of workout. And people love that.
It's awesome, dude. I love it. It's fucking awesome.
I can't do it. I tried it. I'm just like, just give me the Pilates and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm getting old, dude. I'm getting old. But I think if I had to guess, it's kind of like the success of Stretch Lab too. Like they had a large addressable market. Like Pilates is a very, like, people want to work out. Like whatever your opinion is of fitness and health and wellness, like people want to typically, and the Wall Street Journal actually had a really good article about this. Like, yeah, the whole garage, people can work out by themselves or behind a computer, but like people don't want that. They want the community.
Yes.
And that's what kind of gave growth to this whole boutique fitness thing. But I think the addressable market is very big for Club Pilates, or for Pilates. Same thing with Stretch Lab. Like Stretch Lab's 15-year-old to 70-year-old and everything in between. When you start getting into some of the other modalities, it gets that market size gets